Hey friends, Tux here. For this particular video, we'll be talking about the Saru action figure. This is a Star Trek Discovery character from Kelpian, I believe is the proper way of saying it. I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but I do like Star Trek from time to time, and I have watched most of the series. So if you get me on a Star Trek lore, I do apologize. But basically, he's a Kelpian who is kind of like, in the big scope of things, kind of like a butler. To me, he's a very like mild-mannered, very polite person in Starfleet, and it's the type of thing where he actually became captain in, I guess, season 3 of Discovery, which is kind of shocking, to tell you the truth, because he always has been kind of a little bit of a scaredy cat, you know, like, I don't know if he can make big decisions in tough times, you know, so it'll be interesting to see if they keep him as captain or not. But Star Trek Discovery, largely, it's been mixed emotions for me because of this character, who I really don't like that much, but maybe I'll save that for a different video. Looking at the action figure itself, very cool. It's great they actually have released these. These are kind of like the classic action figures of yesteryear. I mean, this company's did a great job of having actual clothing. The box itself is, you know, hangable, which is really nice. We have a nice picture of them right there. This is an 8-inch action figure with 14 points of articulation, so very cool stuff. Let me go ahead and just open this up. I will say there'll be a link for this down below, so if you want to check this out. These are kind of hard to find, kind of a collector's item. In fact, I'm almost tempted not to open this because of the rarity of Discovery toys. There was a whole controversy about Discovery and toys, because Star Trek make a lot of their money, much like Star Wars, off of like products, you know. And at first there was like basically no products for this series, and that was largely because they weren't sure how it was going to do. And I think that's part of the reason why it ended up on CBS All Access as opposed to normal CBS. I think it has worked well for them because CBS All Access has kind of become the Star Trek channel to a certain degree. They have the Stand and other shows and stuff, but there's a lot of all the Star Trek are all right there all the time for you, digitally remastered, which looks pretty great. Okay, back to the action figure. So much detail. This, look at his head. Like, they've done such a great job of carving out the head and those menacing blue eyes. Look at that. Like, this guy, he looks like Freddy Krueger or something. Okay, he looks like something which is very scary, but of course on the show he's like very nice and like very polite and very gentlemanly like, and definitely not someone who seems like mass murderer Freddy Krueger kind of guy. And on the show, he really isn't. I think there was one episode where he confronted Pike or one of the other captains in regards to people of his homeworld. But in general, this guy does not really have a lot of bad things to say about anyone, anytime. Now, the outfit itself is Velcro, so you can remove it if you want. Like, I don't recommend it because the tones are a little bit different, and, you know, like, see how it looks a little bit different. So it's just kind of a plastic. It's even like a different glossy as opposed to the head, which is meant to be like on display. So I'd keep his little clothes on here. We're not gonna undress this figure in this particular video, okay? But just know the clothes actually do come off, which is really interesting. I don't think these boots, it would probably take a lot to get these boots off, and I don't really want to try and take them off either. This guy walks very tall. Like, if you look, he's got some kind of crazy shoes here, like where the heels don't even touch the ground. It's almost like some kind of like goat or something. On the show, he has a very distinctive stance to where he walks. So if you do watch the show, it's kind of like he's like trying to supermodel it up or something. He has a very weird sway of his arms and just a really weird figure on the show. But quite honestly, he's one of my favorite figures or people on the show, just because his character is so interesting. So very good stuff. As far as articulation goes, the hands turn, the arms bend. You can put this up in the air. He can put his hands up and be like, oh my God, what are we doing? Or, you know, like, he can get a lot of cool poses. Like, oh my God, I ship out a fresca. Like, you can get a lot of cool poses out of this guy. The legs, they do bend, okay? The hips do turn, as you can see. So a lot of really cool articulation built into this. The feet itself in this boot, you really can't move that, although it feels like it's kind of movable a little bit. But just really cool figure. Like, I'm definitely digging this. If you're into Star Trek Discovery, if you're into Star Trek, this might be a collectible worth picking up, just because it's such a unique figure. And honestly, like look at the face. There's a lot of amazing detail in that. They definitely spent a lot of time like trying to make this look correct to the show. Even the hands, just all sorts of like weird scuffiness and bones and different things sticking out. So really, really cool figure, very detailed. And the fact that it has real cloth clothing is a nice touch. Like, I'm digging the cloth clothing. Like, that's really cool. So Anyway, guys, this great figure, not real expensive. I'll have the best price I can find for this. But again, this is kind of a collector item, so like you may want to kind of keep it together. In fact, I'm gonna put this back in the package. It's not, and now it's an opened package, but I'm gonna keep it all together because it's such a weird, rare Star Trek collectible. So get yours while you can, and if you haven't checked out season 3 of Discovery, check it out. It's actually pretty good. I'm really enjoying season 3 a lot more than season 1 or 2, and I'm almost appreciating the old seasons a little bit more because of season 3. So if you gave up on the show, I'd recommend maybe checking it out again, because it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to the season finale. Anyway, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.